Have you ever wondered what happens after we die? Is it possible we've lived before? Today, we're diving into one of the most compelling and documented cases of supposed reincarnation ever recorded. The story of a little boy named James Leininger. It all started when James was just 2 years old. He began having terrifying nightmares, thrashing in his sleep, screaming things like, "Airplane crash, plane on fire, little man can't get out." His parents, Bruce and Andrea, were deeply concerned. During the day, James's obsession with planes was all-consuming. But it wasn't just a typical childhood fascination. He would crash his toy planes into the family's coffee table over and over again. When his parents asked him who the little man in his dreams was, he simply sighed. "Me." He told them he used to be a pilot and that he flew a plane called a Corsair from a boat called a Natoma. He even signed his drawings, James III. His parents were baffled. They had no military background, and they'd never heard of a ship called the Natoma. Driven to understand his son's distress, Bruce began to research. What he found was astonishing. There was, in fact, a World War II escort carrier named the USS Natoma Bay. And as he dug deeper, he discovered that a pilot from that very ship had been killed in action during the Battle of Iwo Jima. His name was James M. Houston, Jr. The details lined up in a way that defied coincidence. James Leininger had said his plane was shot down by the Japanese. Records confirmed James Houston's plane was hit by anti-aircraft fire and crashed into the ocean. Little James knew that the Corsairs had a tendency to blow a tire upon landing. This was a specific detail known mainly to pilots of that era. He even correctly named one of James Houston's fellow pilots, a man named Jack Lawson, when shown a group photo from the Natoma Bay Squadron. To test this further, Bruce and Andrea took James to a reunion of veterans who had served on the USS Natoma Bay. The veterans were skeptical, but they began asking the young boy questions only someone who had served with them would know. James answered them with surprising accuracy. He recognized faces and recounted specific memories that matched the veterans' own experiences. One of the most powerful moments came when James met Ann Barron, the sister of the deceased pilot, James Houston. She had been sent some of her brother's belongings after his death. Little James was able to correctly identify items that belonged to his other mother and father, things he couldn't possibly have known about. For Anne, this encounter brought a sense of peace and closure she never thought she'd find. As James grew older, the vivid memories began to fade, as is common in these types of cases. He went on to live a normal life, the nightmares ceasing completely. His story, however, remains one of the most powerful and well-documented accounts, suggesting that consciousness might just be more than we understand. It was detailed in the book Soul Survivor, the reincarnation of a World War II fighter pilot. So, what do you think? Is this a case of an overactive imagination, inherited memory, or genuine proof of a past life? The evidence is so specific, so detailed. It makes you wonder if we truly have lived before. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible stories from the unknown.